pleased to have with us on the program the president of the National Border Patrol Council, Mr. George McCubbin III. And Mr. McCubbin, thank you for coming on the program tonight, sir.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. All right, so the National Border Patrol Council, you represent basically all non-supervisor level positions within the Border Patrol?
Correct, yeah, all the rank and file.
17,000 members.
Yes.
And your organization is calling for Attorney General Eric Holder to resign.
That is correct.
Why do you believe that it is time for the Attorney General to step down, sir?
Well, basically, he's had more than enough time to come clean with his knowledge and information that he has regarding this Fast and Furious investigation.
Obviously, Border Patrol agent Brian Terry is a name associated with Operation Fast and Furious. Agent Terry was killed. 2 guns recovered at the scene were traced back to Operation Fast and Furious. The Terry family has filed a civil suit against the government, believing that the government knew that this gun walking was happening and that they should have stopped it, that Agent Terry should still be alive today. Is this a key reason why you believe that Attorney General Holder needs to go, that it's now been a year and a half since Agent Terry's death, and we are still apparently no closer to any answers?
Well, exactly, and that's the key right there. We're no closer now than we were a year and a half ago. And for the Attorney General to continue to not be forthright, not only to Congress, but to the Terry family, as well as every law enforcement officer in the country. He is at the top of the spectrum there, and he needs to be held accountable. And if he's not responsible for it, he knows exactly who is, and he needs to take care of this problem now.
What would you describe, George, has Eric Holder lost the confidence of the rank and file within the Border Patrol?
He has with the Border Patrol. He has with the rank and file of the Border Patrol. I mean, we've all been patient. We've all trying to let this play out the way it's supposed to play out through the system, but it's apparent that he's still withholding information, and he's not holding accountable the responsible parties.
Do you? I mean, again, all of these are open questions. I wanted to ask you, where do you think ultimately the level of involvement lies? But again, there's no way we can really know because DOJ hasn't been forthcoming with the release of these documents.
Well, exactly, and that just goes to show that they know exactly who's responsible. But for political reasons, I have to guess that they're not coming out and holding these individuals responsible. There is no type of operation, at least to this magnitude, that isn't signed off, by all the proper layers of management.
Right.
So there has to be names, there has to be signatures, there were meetings, there were email exchanges regarding this operation. So Eric Holder does know who's responsible, but for whatever reasons, and we don't know because he's not coming out with this information, that he's protecting these individuals.
George, when you hear the explanation offered that we thought we were going to track these guns and something happened and we had no way to track the guns after all, as it turns out, and Eric Holder can't say who signed off on running this operation. Is that a cop-out?
Well, it definitely is. I mean, at some point, let's just say that they started this with all good intentions. At some point during the operation, they realized that they could not track these weapons going south. Somebody had to make the decision at that point, saying, well, we'll just let it see what happens, or they just said, just let it continue. I mean, somebody made this decision. They didn't just all turn a blind eye and didn't realize this was going on.
Right.
Because if that were the case, then even more people should be held accountable for this to happen.
Do you think the Attorney General will resign?
I think he should resign. But I believe that he won't, being in the particular part of the political season that we're in.
Mm-hmm.
I think that would hurt President Obama tremendously if he were to step down. But I believe he needs to. He needs to set an example for his actions and his responsibilities in this investigation.
Tomorrow the Attorney General is supposed to meet with Representative Issa. Allegedly, some documents will be exchanged in an attempt to try to avoid this contempt of Congress vote. At this point, for you and your organization, is that just too little too late?
Oh, it definitely is. Only because of this recent pressure is that he's coming, to Congressman Issa and trying to have this vote, deferred.
Mm-hmm.
But no, we're done playing games. Something has to happen. If this were regular employees and this were individuals that were not at the top of the food chain, they would already be removed. At least they would be proposed to be removed from the agency. But because of his position, he's able to retain this position and still not cooperate in this investigation like he should be. There shouldn't be. There's no excuse a year and a half into this where we're at now. It falls on his shoulders, and it's time for him to step up to the plate here.
Talking with George McCubbin III, the president of the National Border Patrol Council. And George, does your organization endorse political candidates? And if so, is this an issue that will be reflected or will be weighed when you issue an endorsement?
No, we typically do not endorse candidates. We have, on pretty rare occasions, some of our locals in particular areas of the country, they may go out and endorse a local official.
Mm-hmm.
But for the most part, we try to stay out of the politics and just fight for what's right for our folks.
Well, listen, I hope that we do get answers about what happened to Brian Terry. I know that his family will be listening this evening, and I know that it gives them comfort to hear you say that the National Border Patrol Council is not going to give up fighting for Brian Terry.
No, we're not, and I know that the Terry family is aware of this. It's just unfortunate that they still have to wait this long. It's just wrong.
Absolutely. George, thank you so much, sir, for your time tonight, and I look forward to having you back on the program.
Thank you. Yeah, anytime.